Hey everybody, it's Triple J. Welcome back to another episode of Bountiful Bayou here in City Skylines. And we're taking a look at our gridded city. Now it might look a little bit different to you. And I don't know exactly what's going on. So I did fix the European building issue that we were having. For some reason, and I don't really know why, the styles in the content manager under styles, the European vanilla buildings were checked, and I don't know why that was. It was happening on stream as well, and I figured it out. I thought it was some sort of mod conflict. Turns out it was not. It was just something in the game that I checked on. So anyway, that was fixed, but for some reason, and I'm not really upset about it because it looks great. I think it actually looks nice. You can see that the colors of the road are darker. For some reason, when I load the presets in eye candy for the Bountiful Bayou, it doesn't actually change it back to what it was. This is sort of more like what it looks in the city that we're doing on stream, Whispering Pines. But I'm not mad about it. I think it looks fine. But anyway. So that's why that changes. There's no new... I didn't add any mods. I didn't change any of the LUTs. Nothing is really different. It's just really a matter of kind of tweaking it inside of eye candy. But actually, this looks great. So we're gonna roll with it. We're continuing our gridded area here, and I'm really liking this. I came back to it, and I'm really enjoying how it's looking. We don't have a massive demand for residential right now. We do need a little bit more of that commercial sort of feel, and I'm wondering if that's something we can sneak in here without being too obtrusive, because I would love to fill in this area again, though I don't want to zone anything off of this avenue. So I think we may have touched on this in the last episode, but I don't actually remember. So this is like another little residential block here, but I think this little corridor is a great spot for some more like high density commercial, because we actually don't have a ton of it. Theoretically, I could zone some here, but because of this one way, it's only going to be the 2 tiles, and I'm not really down for that. So let's maybe just avoid that. There's also some bits and bobs over here that we could certainly sneak some buildings in. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, maybe, you know, I don't know if this is what... Well, but then we have the skate park. So maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit more, I don't know, low-key, smaller shops. Feels weird to have like a high-rise next to a skate park. Because this is sort of a very awkward space, but I'm telling you, we will be able to find things to fill it in to make it feel like it's alive. I just don't know if it's going to be tall buildings now that I'm looking at it again. So anyway, let's try to figure out a road system we can get in here. So we could sneak one right under here. Or we could come off of this. I don't know if I want this to be a four-way interchange, though. Maybe? Like if I went straight up this? Is this all flat, by the way? Yes, it is. So if I did that, that is going to create probably a lot of traffic here, and I don't know if that's going to jive well with what we have going on. It's actually a little dark, I think. Feels like we should maybe brighten it a little bit. Maybe turn on the ambient light a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's the... Is it the time? Oh, we have the day-night cycle on. That might be why. Oh my goodness. Well, that might be why that was happening. So let's turn that back down. It was actually just getting darker in the game. There we go. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay. There we go. So... yeah, I'm really worried about this intersection. Because right now, it's totally fine, but there's nothing here. Nothing's zoned on any of this. So there's really... yeah, I think that might be a bad play. So instead, we do have this avenue, and this is going to come through and connect up to this. So let's now that we actually have this, let's bring that in. let's bring that in. So let me just make sure I can get that all flattened. Because we still need to open up this tile so I can see, you know, kind of get a better feel for where we're going. So we'll do that. And I'm totally fine with that connecting sort of straight. And now that we have that, we don't really have anything intersecting off of this. So I think it's totally fair to push the traffic. Yeah. Because look how, I mean, this is really, really nutty. So if we add another stop here, it's going to back up things even more. I think we're going to have to do some traffic managing with this. Yeah, we have some cars spawning down here, which isn't great. Is this actually zoned? Or is this? No, this is on this side. Oh, people are walking through and then getting into their cars. Which, you know, that tells us some things. That tells us that there's either... Well, no, because they're just trying to get back onto the highway. Yeah, we have to play with that. That could be an issue that we resolve with, I don't know, more public transportation, perhaps? Not sure. Not sure. But let's get this and bring it down. I guess I don't really know how far I want this to be brought. Actually, what we could do right here is go... We could line it up with this road. Like that. And then bring it around. And then back up. Yeah, that could be a thing. And then maybe over here, we could do something where we bring the roads, you know, kind of what we were doing over here a little bit. Actually, let's... No, wait a minute. So what I want to do is I think I want to do similar to what we just did here, where it feels like they're on this road, but they're not. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to line this with fence on this side. So actually, let me do that right now so I can kind of see where that's going to land. Boy, having a crossing for the pedestrian walkway would be nice right over this into the park. Okay, lots of things. Lots of things. But that's how this goes, right? That's how this goes. It's all layers. So if I do that, it'll get rid of the zoning and kind of just keep this running all the way up. You know, this is just like a little promenade area. I don't know if it's going to continue all the way up. We may have, you know, reason for more things. So we can then bring this down even further. Like, let's see. That? Can I go even further? Like this. Nope, that's only going to give me 3. I guess that's the closest we're going to get with 4. Which is fine. Which is fine. And then in order to do this... Yeah, I'm going to put a walkway in. Let's do the walkway. So I'm going to end up destroying a little bit of this. Okay. We are going to grab this one. And we're going to go... actually, we can go 6. We don't need to be 9. And we'll go across. Actually, probably makes sense to go straight across, connecting up to that bit. That. And down. And this can go down to here. It should also go to maybe the other side. Okay, so I'm going to grab move it real quick. And I'm going to slide that back. Okay. Then we're going to go down. Drag that. Oops. Connect that up. Very good. I'm going to peel back this fence if I can grab that node. There we go. There we are. Nice. And pull this forward. Okay. Good. So now we have a connection to this park and sort of this residential area safely across the highway. And I think I think I might have already done this over here, but no pedestrian crossing. And actually, no pedestrian crossings there either. We may, yeah. Having them cross here is also bad, but I don't have a great way unless they walk over there to this side. But I can do one right here. Okay? So no crossings. Okay? That should help alleviate a little bit of the pressure on that intersection. So then if I get rid of this and I get rid of this, okay? And then I can bring this up. Let me freeform this. We can go... Oops. We don't need to go to 9. Let's go to 6. To about there. And down. Like that. Slide this forward. Okay. And then this can go... Yeah, like that. That's fine. And then I'll just straighten it out. I don't know why I didn't do that before. But see, you know what? Sometimes you come back to areas. That's just part of the creative process, right? The building process is you just don't see that sometimes, you know? And then what I'm going to do is turn on the snapping. I'm going to pull this road back right just enough. See how the streetlights were clipping through you can see how they're clipping through the walkway? If I just pull it a little bit, changes the position of those, and now they're not doing that anymore. And that's great. Cool. So now they can walk up and over, and then they can walk up and over this to get across. It's a little convoluted, but at the same time, I think it makes this intersection much safer. Hopefully the traffic can flow through a little bit better. And I think that's quite nice. So I'm going to pull... Oh, what happened there? Ah, I see. Well, that will not be the case right now. Oh, it's not the node I wanted. Okay, we're just going to get rid of that and redo it. Yeah, because I brought back the zoning on that side. And that's why the zones were fighting each other. But now they shouldn't. Now it's back to perfect 4 squares, so that should be okay. Great, great, great. So now that gave us, you know, squares there. And what that does is I feel more, well, I may have to rebuild that now. If I do this and then I slide it, I don't think it'll actually... See, now we can connect that road under there, and we won't even really notice because there's a walking path over it. It won't feel as weird to just see the end of this road. It'll just feel like it naturally stops there. And now we can have zoning all the way up. Okay, so then on the inside, let's just... I mean, I feel like this is just going to be pretty straightforward grids. I mean, it's going to be, but at the same time it's not, because we do have the highway ripping through here. So I guess the other thing I could do is run that. I'm kind of fine leaving a little bit of that gap there. Or we could do that and leave a little bit of space. Or the other thing I can do is curve this along the highway. Like that? Yeah. Not sure how I feel about that. I think instead, we can do that. Okay, cool. And then do we have services running over here? Let's check. We have healthcare, death care, pretty close by. I feel pretty confident about that. Fire's close. Police is close. And then parks, though. Parks, I think we should be fine. We're in a downtown. I rarely have problems with parks. Although, I think a park sort of filling in this area would go a long way. Because, yeah. Just because this is such an awkward space here. Okay. Well, let's get in some high density and see how that starts to function. It's gonna be like a big, just shopping district sort of a thing. I think building, some type of building or plaza would look good over here. Like that. This is one of the European, it's like a European shopping center. But that's a nice little building right on the corner here. And then we can actually grab the 2-lane with sound barriers. Because actually that would make a lot of sense to do that instead of the fence. And then we can actually continue the fence. And maybe we would do the, like, or fencing. It's a little higher. Yeah, I like that. Can I grab this? Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Nope. Just connect that a little bit better. There we go. And then I might do the same over here. Just a little bit of that fence. Cool. And then I'm totally fine making that connection. Putting a building on that corner. That corner even. Maybe we could just do some walkways underneath the park over here. And then we could also just add some more, we could dab this with a couple more offices as well. Since we have a little bit of that industrial demand. Cool, and then this area should start to fill in quite nicely. There we go, there's some hustle and bustle going on. I like it. We may even have the opportunity to run... Well, maybe not. Well, maybe the thin one? Just don't want to interrupt. Yeah, the thinner path. And then we could just move that. What I'm going to do is, because the fence is so finicky, I'm just going to pull this using move it. And I'm going to pull that in. That still should connect, though. I just don't want that tearing. I guess I don't know exactly where this goes, but it could Could connect up to like over here somewhere. I think that's actually connected, but I don't. We'll find out. I don't even know if people are going to use it. It doesn't really go anywhere, but it's just sort of for the looky looks of it. But yeah, stuff is really popping in here. Now we're getting a little bit more balance for the residential. Because I think we still have a bunch more of this zoned that is not filled in. Oh, no, we don't. Okay, so actually most of that is filling in. We do have the little bits of the high density back there. Because I think I said last time we were going to do the green cities on this side of this avenue, if my memory serves me. Yeah, that's really nice. See, when you start being able to use running elevated highway through a downtown, it's just, it can be pretty magical if you can do it right. Having it coast around buildings like that, pretty nifty. Yeah, I don't really know what this is, what this area is just yet. Maybe more plazas, more just like, it could be just small little shops. You know, nothing too consequential kind of a thing. I'm actually down to do that. You're not gonna have a good time if you live in the corner apartment, but we'll see what kind of pops in here. We can always see how it looks. If it doesn't look good, we can always get rid of it. But, you know, we kind of have these awkward little spaces here, so I think a pathway, and then maybe filling this in with concrete, running some trees along it or something, just to sort of fill that in. You know, if we grab the concrete painter and just sort of, because I mean, realistically, this would probably be mostly concrete anyway down here. And get that to sneak under here. Oh, nice. Okay, and then we can run this along here. We'll cut through. Also down just to fill that in a little bit. Kind of see what pops in. All that concrete. But then what we can do is sort of just put like a larger, you know, some trees or yeah. Maybe these bigger trees like in the back. And then just put some shrub around the base of it to look like there's some grass. You know, something like that. Maybe some park benches. Little benches around here. You know, we don't have to get, you know, you can get as detailed or as little as you want. And make it feel like a little atrium for the Colossal Order offices. And on this side, maybe a couple more small shops. Yeah. Power. Oh my. What? What's going on? Are we just low? Or did something happen to one of our power buildings? Like, is something on fire? Huh. Oh, let's find another spot for this solar tower. Right, because we were kind of putting some power on this island, but all in all, it's getting a little big now, and I don't feel great about that. We still have to figure out what goes in here. I don't think we discussed that last time. You know what? Temporarily, that's going to be what goes there. We just must be short. Just feels like we were really short. Huh. I don't know. That's a bit strange. So now that we have more stuff over here, we should start to see more traffic. And already, you know, we're starting to see... It's possible we may need to make that a right turn only. And then create an off ramp over here that allows you to go left. So then that would push people down the highway a little further. Yeah. Because I think that backup is going to get pretty nasty. And it's getting nasty because we have this issue. Yeah. This intersection is a big problem. And part of that is we don't really have, you know, if you're coming down this highway, there's not a great way to get to the commercial downtown. You have to go through. So that may mean that we make another connection piece right here, like some sort of smaller interchange, because this is really doing a lot of the heavy lifting. We have nothing coming off of this, which we totally could, you know. Or we could have another, you know, do some off-ramp, on-ramp stuff over here. And that's totally fine. I mean, you know, you do that all the time in cities like that. But and that's kind of part of the fun, is I sort of like sneaking in weird little off-ramps and stuff. We're doing that a lot in our city over on Twitch, on Whispering Pines. We're doing that a lot, actually. And I think it adds a lot of character to the city, right? Because there's always little quirks. There's always weird things that happen. So yeah, we could have an off-ramp that, well, this bridge goes pretty long. That's a pretty long bridge. But I could take like a part of it and make it, we could make it, you know, force it not to ground, just like force it to be elevated and not bridged, and then run an offshoot that connects over to here, and that might alleviate some of this, because all these people are coming from, yeah, because there's really no reason. Yeah, if you're on this highway, you are simply not accessing downtown. You can only leave. You can, I guess you can access this highway, which then will lead into this, but that's a way roundabout way to get into the city. So, but this is the exciting stuff. That's the fun part of this, right? It's always the little challenges, the little things that crop up. And honestly, it's not too bad here. It's cleared up. I think maybe some of that traffic was just because people were moving in. But I was something to think about. But everyone, that is going to do it for me for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Bountiful Bayou here in City Skylines. Bye, everybody.